Hello everybody, welcome to What Culture Gaming. I'm Scott and I'm joined by a very hungover Ben.
Hello.
Because he's been watching WrestleMania.
It was WrestleMania last night.
Bollocks to all that because we've got Batman things to talk about.
Yes, Batman, big fan of the Arkham games.
Yes, same.
Admittedly, I never actually played Origins.
Really?
But I loved Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were incredible. Arkham Knight, still very good. Not quite as good as the others, but I understand there's something going on. Some games going on.
There are also a lot of things going on. So it must be, I have to clarify that this is from a giant leak on Reddit from a potentially former disgruntled Warner Brothers employee who came out and said, look, I know all about the new Arkham game, and he posted all about it on Reddit. This is, like last month or whatever.
Right.
And since then, his post has been taken down. So you can read into that what you will. But most of the time, as was the case with Fallout 4 and Spider-Man, these things get taken down because this employee is onto something.
Right. So,
it is kind of just for fun, but these things are worth kind of, exploring and talking about, especially because since this initial leak, there's been another one that confirms a Batman game for E3. Again, if that leak is true, but we'll get to all that.
It's not Rocksteady doing
No.
this, right? Okay.
That's one of the things that I will get to, but yes, it is not Rocksteady. It's going to be Warner Brothers Montreal because Rocksteady are maintaining that they're just stepping back from the franchise following Arkham Knight.
That's fair enough.
So, I'm going to hop into 16 specific things that you need to know, both you and them.
Let's do it. Let's smash them.
So yes, number 16, it is a prequel. It is set 3 years after Arkham Origins.
Okay.
So immediately, Origins, like you said, you didn't play it. A lot of people just kind of overlooked that one because it was made by Warner Bros. Montreal. It was a prequel, so it wasn't the ongoing sort of saga.
Right.
Personally, Origins is actually pretty cool. Like they've got some really good writing talent on it. They actually explore the Joker's motivations really, really well. You actually plays the Joker in one particular segment, which is really sweet. That game gets a lot more criticism than I think it deserves. So if you're a fan of Origins, which a lot of people who just love Batman have gone back and dove into it. Continuing that timeline isn't the worst thing.
So would that put it in the sort of place in time where they might explore the introduction of Nightwing or a new Robin or Jason Todd or that kind of stuff? See,
this is the thing. It's a problem with doing these things in a specific order, is that I do get to that, but in a bit. So you'll have to hang on. But yes, that's going to be a thing.
Getting ahead of myself.
But yeah, that's one of the points because there's a huge 10-year gap between Arkham Origins and Asylum and City, which I don't think Rocksteady did that intentionally, but that does mean that they have a lot of years to go back and play with and be like, oh, what was he thinking? How did he become the version that he is between Origins and Asylum?
Right.
But number 15, Roger Craig Smith and Troy Baker are back as Bruce Wayne and Joker respectively, and I f***ing love Troy Baker.
As the Joker?
As a dude, as a man, as a human, as an artist, I don't care, he's a dude.
He's wonderful, I've met him and spoken with him.
I know you have.
He's a lovely guy.
And he was brilliant as the Joker. I thought he did a brilliant rendition of it.
He's incredibly versatile.
I actually kind of prefer his. I mean, it's the same take. It's in the same vein as the Mark Hamill one, but I think his version, is a lot cleaner. Like the version that Hamill did in Arkham Knight was very strained. Obviously, it's because he's infected with Titan blood and whatever. Yeah. But I kind of think that the Troy Baker one kind of grounds it a little bit. Kind of takes it back to the animated series version.
Right. Lends a more youthful air to it. Totally. As he's a younger Joker.
Which, being that it's the origin, it's the older timeline, makes more sense. So, if you're a fan of Craig Smith and Troy Baker, there you go. Yeah. Number 14, it will continue to use the Arkham Knight game engine, which was a marked step up from Arkham City in terms of graphics.
Yeah, there weren't really any problems with that, were there? That probably means that you'll
not on consoles.
You'll have, it
fell the hell apart on PC.
You'll probably get loads of people calling you on your thing with their face.
Yeah.
And so you rotate the camera so their face is over your cowl and you just have ears. Everyone did that. Everyone did that.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, they might run into the similar issue that Origins had where Bruce has all this tech in the past and then just forgot that he had it.
He's been retconned. Yeah.
And then, because he had to relearn a bunch of moves, that he learned a bunch of moves in Origins that he forgot in Asylum and then relearned them again in City. So at some point, it's going to be like Splinter Cell, where it's just like, well, the age, the abilities of this character don't matter. It's a video game.
It's exciting, though, because some of the weaker parts of Arkham Knight were the Bat Tank.
Yep.
And obviously, as the same engine, that means the vehicle is probably very likely to be in it, but they can learn from the mistakes in that, it's not a tank, but you can certainly drive from A to B in it.
Yes. Well, yes, and we will get there.
A to B, man.
Yes. Number 13, you will play as Batman and Robin. Although they've said that they're going to continue the whole combo attacks that we had in Arkham Knight, which were awesome. They were really cool. Yeah. They don't want to let you play as Robin in the open world. Apparently, it's going to be more sequences where you play as Batman and Robin in specific combat scenarios.
Right,
but they're going to be more frequent.
There was DLC stuff where you could play as other characters in Arkham Knight.
And
before. But I loved it in Arkham City where you could say, "I'm going to be Catwoman for a bit."
Yeah.
And there were only certain bits you could get to, but it was really cool going out and using her claws to climb up certain things.
Totally, and that changed the way that you explored the city and stuff. So in a way, I am kind of gutted that they aren't doing the whole like switch characters out, because a lot of the things that Scott Snyder's done in the comics is really established the Bat family, that it's not just one guy, that it is a whole network of vigilantes working together. And I don't know, it depends what flavor of Batman you like, but that is a good way to go to some degree.
In Origins, is Barbara Gordon already Oracle?
No.
Okay, so we might.
I don't think so.
We might see that in this potentially. Then.
Man, I haven't played Origins since 2013. I don't think so.
Right, because it was basically his first outing. Did he have? It was just him and Alfred, I assume, at that point.
Yeah, they said it 2 years after he decides to become Batman. So,
so chances
it's
are
like
Barbara Gordon is still Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I wish I could remember more of Origins, but I'm apologising because I don't.
So we might get the Killing Joke.
Oh, maybe. I don't want more Joker. Like, as much as I love Baker, like I don't mind the character coming back, obviously. Right. But I do think that
more as a he's looming rather than I'm in every scene. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, because that's what they said. Arkham Knight. It was like, oh well, we're not going to do a Joker story. It's going to be all about the Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight. Yeah. And then they lied about Mark Hamill being in it, and then he was everywhere. He was part of Bruce's imagination, so they had him in every scene. And I got so sick of that character after a while.
Oh really? See, I thought that was really. I loved that.
Oh, I was so burnt out on it. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do, because there's a million other Joker stories that you can do based on just the character in general.
Comics and stuff to pull from.
And so that's one of the things. This feeds into number 12. Joker is back again. But the way that he's going to factor into the story is that apparently Arkham Insurgency is about all of Arkham asylums and Blackgate's prisoners all breaking loose at once. I'm willing them to take more risk with that kind of stuff. They've got much more lore to pick from than just gruff Batman, crazy Joker mesh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Joker's back. All the people have broke out of Arkham Asylum and Blackgate Prison. Apparently, according to the leak, Joker is just kind of doing his thing. It sounds like they're painting the version like Heath Ledger's, where he's a dog chasing cars. And he's pretty much just like messing with everybody. He's not really in charge of everything. And they actually state that Joker will even help out Batman and Robin if it suits the most anarchic thing possible. He's just happy to just mess with everything.
Wow. That is an interesting...
I'm game for that. I think that's a more sort of freewheeling version. Like, I'm well up for Joker.
It sounds interesting. Sounds interesting.
So number 11, we're finally going to be fighting the Court of Owls. Which I absolutely love the Court of Owls. They've been one of the only newer arcs of Batman that like Scott Snyder stuff from the comics where have you read them?
I haven't, no.
They basically did this whole thing where it's kind of like their play on the Illuminati, where they were just like, right, there's this secret sect of evil manipulating dudes who have always been in Gotham, and they're just waiting for their time to strike, and they're called the Court of Owls, and they have these like super secret assassins called the Talons, and it turns out that like there's all this history between the Wayne family and there's other people, and it's just great. They basically beat the living hell out of Bruce because they've been watching him grow as Batman, so they know all of his weaknesses, and they just like tear him to shreds. There's this dude called Owlman who he fights him, and it's great.
Not Night Owl.
Not Night Owl, I think it's Owlman, but there are a whole bunch of Talons, these characters called Talons in it as well. I just reading The Court of Owls, Snyder does a great thing with pacing where he unveils just how much they're one step ahead. Right. And because we always think of Batman being that character anyway, it's just great watching him like just flounder and fluster and like try something else, and now they've already thought of that, and it's great. I absolutely love The Court of Owls. So part of that is that they're going to be presenting what they call elite enemies, and they'll have a way of you fighting 4 or 5 of these guys at once. I have to assume that they're the Talons because it makes the most sense. Okay. So it sounds like they're going to give you more boss characters that aren't maybe marked bosses, but are sort of like worthwhile fights kind of thing.
Yeah, of course.
Which I am game for. And then number 10, proper boss battles are back.
Good. I love
Arkham Knight sucked ass.
The Poison Ivy fight from Arkham Asylum is one of my favorites.
Oh, I'll take Mr. Freeze from C.
With the batarangs, and she's a big floating plant.
Yep.
You have to time your stuff.
They had a great thing with like scaling that.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
There were across both Asylum and City, there were a whole bunch of memorable boss fights, and the only one that is memorable for all the wrong reasons in Night is that sewer tank fight where he chases you in the Batmobile and you've got to like stunt over like ramps to get him trapped. Oh god,
yeah, he's in like a boring machine, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in like a giant drill, like Shredder from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, well, that was silly. That was like, we've got a vehicle. Yeah, but do you need one?
Do you need one?
Do you need one?
And then at the end of it, it was just like, well, you defeated Scarecrow in a cutscene. The first-person shooter thing with the Joker. I think the boss battles were a bit naff in
first-person shooter bit with the Joker made me terrified.
Yeah,
scared the crap out of me.
Oh really? I think you were like terrified as to the future of the series.
No. Like I got to that and was like, I'm so scared. I'm really uncomfortable.
I like the utilization of that and being like, this is what it feels like to have your mind taking back your mind as Batman from Joker.
Or just this is what it's like to be hunted by Batman, to be scared of where he could come from.
Yeah, totally.
That was great.
That stuff was really neat, but I still like the idea of, the leak only just says there will be actual boss battles this time. So they're clear, if this is all true, they're fully aware of it. Mm-hmm. Number 9 is set in a coastal area of Gotham with expanded interiors, Wayne Manor and a Batcave.
The docks.
Maybe the docks. There's always some going down the docks. There's not a whole lot been said about this, other than that it appears that by saying that it's a coastal area, I guess they're going to try and get away from, the standard look of Gotham. I liked how sort of like neo noir they kind of went with the certain sections of night. They were like the Chinatown bit, and like they had a lot of like an architecture that was a kind of markedly different from City and Origins.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go down like your Batman, he's not going to be chilling on the beach.
But want to see the bat boat, bat sub,
bat beach. Yeah, maybe. If you're them, how do you sort of distinguish? How do you make your game different when we're 4 installments in?
True. Tell a good story.
They can try that.
Want.
Number 8, the Batmobile's tank sections are gone. Come back from your hangover because it's fine again.
Yay!
Life is worth living.
We're done.
So yes, they said the Batmobile is in the game, but it's been changed. There's no more battle mode.
Good.
But the controls have been modified to compensate. The combat mostly consists of chase sequences and using the Batmobile's superior speed and maneuverability to navigate around slower opponents while bombing the hell out of them with the car's weaponry. Now, I don't like the sound of bombing the hell out of them because that reminds me of the Zack Snyder Batman, which isn't Batman, it's Gunman, but whatever.
They shot little beanbag things, didn't they?
They tried to justify it where it was like, the weapons were non-lethal. There were explosions, the cars were flipping, it was dumb.
Yeah.
The whole thing where you ran them over and electrocuted them as well, that's just ridiculous.
That was silly. It was all very silly, but obviously timeline-wise, it wouldn't make sense for the tank to be there. So hopefully, with limited, sensible use of the Batmobile.
The Batmobile that's in Asylum is the more traditional one, like the sleeker version. So if that's the one that he has in, Insurgency, cool. But I hope that the fact that they're still trying to sort of wrangle in this like shooty bang bang stuff is just, we don't need it in a Batman game. We don't need him with guns. Why can't you get that, DC? Or WB? Anybody. Number 7, we have still minimal civilians in Gotham because they're going with yet again another evacuation thing. Because they needed,
I don't mind that. It thematically makes sense. It would be annoying if you were Batman and you could beat up civilians, but you shouldn't.
That's the thing. I think playing as Batman, you just generally wouldn't do that. When you were playing Sleeping Dogs, it felt weird to like attack a civilian. Like you're supposed to be like upholding the law. I still think that there's way more they could do with the villains and their integration into society, or like putting hostages on the line kind of thing. Like there's more they could do with a populated Gotham than not. Especially because in like City they had those political prisoners, I think they were called, like random civilians that were dotted around the map that you could save, and that just felt cool. Like being Batman, dropping down and saving a civilian in amongst tackling all the big dudes.
I do remember.
I think that gives more sort of like purpose and more agency to Batman. Like I'd rather they just took a chance and did a populated Gotham. Yeah. Even if you do it in the dead of night where it's like minimal people or whatever. Anyway, they've said that there's another section of Gotham that's completely blocked off. The main playable area is populated by villains and criminals, and a whole heap of trapped civilians that Batman and Robin will need to rescue. So at least they're kind of connoting the Arkham City thing, whilst also saying it's an evacuated city. So whatever, it's kind of populated, but it's not populated. Either way, I like the idea of them sort of exploring a different direction than Arkham Knight's completely desolate streets yet again.
Yeah.
Number 6, basic combat has been revamped.
Okay, it was great. It was
really
great before.
It's awesome, but were you not a bit sick of it now?
I liked it in that it made me feel powerful. Made me feel like Batman.
Yeah.
If they give it a lick of paint, that's fine.
I got to the point, especially even after Arkham Asylum, where like it's because it is so rhythm based. Like once you got the basic controls down, I felt like I played every fight pretty much exactly the same. Like where it was just like watch for the counter prompt, counter, do a special. Like I feel like they needed like a little bit more.
Okay. Well, it's happening.
Yes. I mean, they've said combat will be expanded to accommodate one-on-one fights. They said it's still rhythm-based. You've got to time your correct button presses and things like that. But it's more complicated than just the attack counter basis of the previous games.
Okay.
So if that factors into fighting the Talons, or like, that made me think of the Deathstroke fight from Origins, which I guess you would have seen.
I do know that one.
Right. It's like, that was really cool. And like, that kind of played right into the whole, like, kind of you're mashing buttons 1 second to like deflect a flurry of blows, and then you're trying to like counter them at just the right time. Like, there's a lot more you can do with a rhythm-based fighting engine that they haven't done yet, I don't think, like in terms of one-on-one stuff. I don't know, like kind of like a hyperactive version of For Honor, perhaps. I don't know. I'll do that.
No, I always quite like the free flow, but I'm happy to see things change.
Yeah, I definitely think it's the best like third-person combat system there's been in games in terms of like
for melee combat.
Yeah, for just like base melee combat.
Yeah.
Well, one of the best anyway. Number 5, there are a huge number of additional skins and different bat suits. Now, with your impending hangoverness, do you want a full rundown? Or will it kill you?
It might kill me. Give me some highlights. What are we talking?
Well, we've got the return of the Arkham Asylum, the Arkham Knight, the Arkham Origins suits. We've also got Batman Begins, Batman v Superman, the New 52, the Rebirth Batman, Year One Batman, Dark Knight Returns Batman, Adam West Batman, Anime Batman,
Yes.
Batman Noel.
Yes, that's the one I wanted. Animated Batman.
Really?
That's the one.
He's pretty good.
That. I hunted for that everywhere. The pre-order skin
Really?
for Arkham City, and I didn't find it. Couldn't get it.
Well, they've got all that.
In the UK.
First appearance Batman, so purple gloves. I'm game for some purple gloves. I think he was in Arkham Knight, but you never know. Nightfall Batman, Batman Beyond, Earth 1, Earth 2, Flashpoint, Red Sun, Green Lantern, and several more.
Green Lantern. So is Dark Knight Returns? Was that one of the ones you...
No, not yet, I don't think. But you'd have to imagine they would put it in. It was in Arkham Knight.
It was, and in Arkham City.
Yeah.
That's the one
It probably will be. And they've got all the ties to, the release schedule is going to be coming in amongst all the Justice League hype and all that kind of thing. So
yeah, as long as it's stuff you unlock in the game, though, I don't want to have to pre-order from a million different places, or
that's what they'll
I don't
do,
want to have to buy them all in a year's time. That's too late. I want to be able to do specific hard things in the game and unlock a cool outfit.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
They'll give you some, I think, because it's been the case since Arkham City. They put so much stuff behind DLC, like paywalls and stuff, that it's just, that's Warner Brothers. They're one of the worst for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Number 4, Riddler Collectibles and Riddler Raceways are back.
Riddler Raceways.
Did anybody want them?
I didn't want the Riddler Raceways. I like the collectibles. Didn't mind the collectibles.
Collectibles are fantastic.
The little puzzles dotted around.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I think with the Riddler trophies, especially in Arkham City, was just there were too many of them. I'm sure there were like 500 or something.
I did them all.
Really? You get your platinum.
I didn't even get the platinum in the end. I don't think I got the. Or maybe I did. I can't remember. But anyway, I remember taking down the Riddler.
Oh, okay. Well, in Arkham City, it was brilliant. You like drag him through the floor and you stick your foot on his face. That was great. In Arkham Knight, you fight him in a mech.
Come here, you little
I don't know if
you find me in a mech.
It's the dumbest crap,
robots, and you have to switch between Catwoman, who's just locked in the room for the whole game.
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, they've said that collectibles and raceways are back. Combat Predator and Batmobile Racing is in, but the racing maps now have a ton of obstacles and enemies that will do their best to wreck your ride. So it's basically a fusion of racing and Batmobile combat maps from Arkham Knight. I don't want that in my Batman game. In terms of gameplay, okay, fine, but I don't want. It's just Batman isn't a kart racing hero. Like, he's just not.
You unlock Batman Beyond, the Batman Beyond outfit. If you succeed.
Hey, if they did that, I would put up with it.
Incentivize it with something that you want.
I just don't. Who responded positively to these underground raceways? How did he build them in the first place?
I suppose it's just. Let's tick boxes. We've got this engine. This works. It's ready to go, and we can. It shouldn't be too much work to put some.
I guess there are the Batmobile is such a key part of, or is a big part of that character, especially on the silver screen kind of thing, big screen. But I just don't think. I don't know. It's just the idea of doing power ups, and it just. I never bought that Riddler could build this stuff
on
like
his
that.
own.
Yeah, on his own with his little army of mechs. It just seemed a bit much. But whatever, they said they're moving away from the OCD collector hunt style of Riddler missions and more towards death traps and puzzle rooms, which solving them will give you special rewards. The trophies are sort of puzzle pieces, which when you get a certain amount allow you to trace the locations of Riddler's next challenge. On the other hand, they are super hard to find and obtain.
Ooh,
so
sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, if they're kind of going to channel Breath of the Wild's approach to the shrines, I'm all in. Number 3, they've got a very deep roster of additional villains.
Cool.
I'm going to read these out because as much as I love my Batman, I'm not that au fait with all of these.
How about, can I guess what's going to be on there? Condiment King.
No. Sadly, not that deep a cut.
How about Birthday Boy?
No.
Okay.
We have had Calendar Man before, but no.
Yes.
I'm going to read you these and just let me, one of them, two of them you'll know.
I'll let you know.
Three of them you'll know.
If I recognise. People are going to be despairing at this. Like, okay.
I know some, but not all. But
Hit me with them.
We've got Maxi Zeus.
No.
Dollmaker.
Ooh, I feel like I've heard of that.
Killer Moth.
No.
Anarchy.
No.
Two-Face.
No.
Blockbuster?
No.
Ventriloquist.
Yes.
Condiment King.
Yes.
I'm kidding. It is actually Cornelius Stirk.
Bugger. So
Yes.
he's not in there.
Condiment King is not in.
Paid DLC coming soon.
VLCK. Cornelius Stirk.
No.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yes.
But the Batman version.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dusan Al Ghul. Mad Monk.
No.
Darla.
Ooh, oh God, I feel like I know that one, but no.
The Riddler, obviously.
Right.
So we've got the only ones that I know. Maxi Zeus, I remember reading A Serious House on Serious Earth, I think that's what it's called, by Grant Morrison. There's a really cool, it's like this really alternate take on Batman where it explores his psyche inside Arkham Asylum. Recommend it. Maxi Zeus is in there and he's like hooked up to all sorts of like crazy cables because he's being trapped for the fact that he believes he's this god. And he can be a kind of really cool presence, or he can be wacky as hell. It depends what kind of tone they go with him. I'd imagine because they're sticking to the Arkham Knight, visual style, they'll go with a more kind of demonic version of him. But who knows? And then yes, Dusan Al Ghul is Raish's son, who I'm assuming is going to delve into the whole relationship between Batman, Raish, and Talia.
Yes.
Because in City it was just all of a sudden here's Talia, and because she's written in the comics as being like a lover of Batman, all of a sudden they're just a thing. I didn't buy that at all in City. When he's just like, yeah, let Gotham burn, I'm gonna go chase some Talia tail.
Yeah, some
Talia.
There we go.
I was like, absolute balls. Number 2, apparently they have plans to do a Hugo Strange DLC.
Why?
Well,
not as in why would they do that? As in why DLC?
Well, yes, why DLC? Because Warner Brothers, but also because I'm assuming all it says is that they're planning to do this sort of Hugo Strange DLC. There's no more details on it, but the only thing that I think you can gain from that is in doing how the hell did Hugo Strange figure out Bruce Wayne was Batman or Batman was Bruce Wayne? Because he just knows that in Arkham City, and he gets killed before Raish kills him in Arkham City before he can get anything out. Yeah. It's kind of handy how they just wrap that up.
He was one of Batman's first villains.
Yeah.
Initial villains. Yeah, I always found him really interesting. I thought he was great in City.
He was really cool for what they did.
Really ominous presence.
And at number 1, it'll actually be at E3. Now, I know I hinted at this kind of throughout the article, but most interestingly, as you can see from the posting that we put on screen, it might not be called Batman Arkham anymore. It's just, they've just got it listed as Batman 2017.
Okay, that might just be a developmental name, obviously.
Possible. Although, it reminds me of Halo, because in the promotion of Halo, they kind of got away from the chronology of it. Obviously, it was still called Halo 5 Guardians. But in a lot of interviews, they were just saying if we just call it, Halo Guardians or whatever, it kind of frees them up to do all sorts of stories, and people just refer to it as the new Halo game's coming or whatever. I'd be way more up for this than them just continuing the Arkham name for the sake of it. I kind of think that even Arkham City was kind of dumb. And then, Arkham Origins wasn't really about Arkham's origins. And then, Arkham Knight was just kind of ridiculous.
It didn't really make sense in Arkham Knight because it had nothing to do with Arkham. But I think it's less to do with Arkham.
Yeah, more about Mr. Todd.
Yes. I think it's important that they keep the Arkham name as long as it's within the same timeline, obviously. But interestingly, when people talk about the Batman games, you don't refer to them as Batman games. You refer to them as the Arkham games.
Yeah, there is that.
So it's the kind of the opposite from Halo, where obviously when you say Arkham games, people know you mean Batman, but no one really describes them as Batman games.
That's probably why they're sticking to it. Actually, I guess their whole PR wing is probably just the Arkham brand has so much weight that they have to keep thinking of different ways they can pull at this name.
It's not referring to Arkham anymore.
No.
It's just the brand name.
I kind of think. One of the rumor tiles for a while was Beyond Arkham. They were going to do the whole Batman Beyond thing, jump way into the future, and that would be their stepping stone, and then they're literally stating this is the last Arkham game, we're going beyond Arkham, and then you can go from there. I kind of think because they're the only studio doing a Batman game right now, that they can pivot into that and it'll still be known as the new Batman game or whatever. But yeah, it's just they need a different subheading. I think in the long run, sticking to just Arkham insert random thing is just going to cripple them in the long run. So we'll see. But yeah, so come June 14th, that's when E3 is, and I guess we'll find out. So yes,
I'm intrigued.
I'm definitely very intrigued.
This one.
The only credibility to this is that someone got in touch with whoever posted that thing on Reddit and told them to remove it or whatever. You can check out the link to the thread in the description below to see what people are saying. But either way, it's quite tantalizing. I mean, the brand carries way too much profitability for Warner Bros. To give up on it. We always knew they were going to do something else.
Yeah.
And the end of Arkham Knight, especially its secret endings, kind of hinted at that. So I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess.
Yeah.
They're going to need to do something kind of special to make it worthwhile, because I think a lot of other fourth installments after an established trilogy have failed, the latest being Mass Effect Andromeda.
I think it's been long enough for me since Arkham Knight for me to be ready for just more Batman, but it does sound like they're trying to do some new things. They're tweaking some of the problems that people had with Arkham Knight, from the Riddler car.
I think,
for some reason.
if this is all true, then they've listened to every single complaint from every single forum, minus Riddler. So I guess we'll wait and see. Either way, let us know what you think in the comments. I've been Scott, and this has been Ben, and we'll catch you guys soon.